This week we're going to highlight the historical price trends for November bean futures and also look at the start of the export program for beans for this year. Then we're going to look at harvest progress and weather trends here in the U.S. as soybean harvest wraps up. Then we're going to turn our attention to Brazil and look at planting progress and weather trends. Hi, this is Brian Basting with Advanced Trading. Let's talk about the soybean market. We've moved in the last half of November here, and this bean market is showing quite a bit of strength. Let's take a look at the history of November soybean futures. Now, November 2025 beans expired last week. Now we're turning our focus to November 2026 beans. That's highlighted by that star off to the left-hand side. As we tape here on Tuesday, November 2026 beans are trading near $11.30 a bushel. Notice that's about $1 above where it was last year at this time, as depicted by that red line. We strongly encourage you to work closely with your trusted risk management advisor to get your risk management positions in place, not only for 2025 crop, but also for 2026 production. Let's shift gears now and look at soybeans exports shipped. What we're looking at here is exports through about mid-November on this chart, and you can see that exports for 25-26 are 43% lower than last year at this time. It's obvious when you look at this chart. The red bar, China, is absent this year so far. That was very similar to what we saw back in 2020, 2021, as well as 21, 22. We'll see how that changes moving forward. As we tape here on Tuesday, the USDA did highlight that China purchased 792,000 tons of U.S. beans. So we'll see how that proceeds throughout the remainder of 2025. Let's shift gears now and focus on harvest progress here in the U.S. Now, the USDA did resume their crop progress report this week as the government reopened, and they pegged U.S. soybeans harvested as of November 16th at 95%. You can see here as we move into the last report here at the end of November, harvest progress is wrapping up here. However, there's still a bit of work left to do. With that in mind, let's take a look at the short-term trends in weather. Our slides this week, as usual, are courtesy of T-Storm Weather. We're looking at most of the rainfall over the next 7 days is going to be south, basically south of Interstate 80. Now, there are some double crop beans there in the mid-south and also in the southeast with North Carolina. Let's take a look at another way of looking at the next 7 days. You can see all those colors there are pretty heavy amounts in some of those areas. So maybe the tail end of bean harvest may be stop and go. Let's take a look at the next 2 weeks now. Next 2 weeks, particularly in the southeast parts of North Carolina, are drying out over the next 2 weeks. So maybe they'll be able to get a good go on that last part of harvest there. Let's shift gears now to Brazil. Let's take a look at where the soybeans are produced in Brazil. Now, Brazil is planting beans as we've wrapped up soybean harvest here in the U.S. Goes from north to south, Mato Grosso in the north, all the way down to Rio Grande do Sul in the south. Let's take a look at planting progress now. As of the end of last week, about 69% of the beans are planted nationwide. Again, going north to south, Mato Grosso is wrapping up planting, whereas Rio Grande do Sul in the south, only 28% completed. Let's take a look at precip totals now. It's been a bit dry up in the north across Mato Grosso and parts of Goiás as well as Mato Piba. We're looking though at a change here, very important change, Wednesday through Sunday, 2¼ to 4½ inches most likely over the next 2 weeks. So very important to see that rainfall develop because those areas are turning dry. Quantifying the next 2 weeks here, looking at mostly normal to a little bit dry still in those areas. So the critical month I'd emphasize for beans in Brazil, particularly northern Brazil, is December. So we'll keep a close eye on that for you moving forward. Now, if you'd like more information, please feel free to contact us at 309-664-2300. We'll put you in contact with one of our risk management consultants who'll be happy to visit with you at your convenience. And remember, we upload every Wednesday. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and never miss an update. Thanks a lot. Have a good week.